Game number 2 underway. This is the IEM Katowice qualifiers, guys. Only one from today can make it through, and there is no loser's bracket. This is a very, all-in tournament, I think, to say the least. So, very excited to see who can make it through, because there's a lot of really good players participating today. I'm Rifkin, joined today by Zombie Grub, and spawning in the lower right corner of the map, coming from Korea, it's going to be the Samsung Galaxy player, Solar.
And in the bottom left, as the Red Terran, it is Motok.
The team Love Your Girlfriend unfortunately had a very abrupt end to his game. You know, he was making the right moves, getting those Blue Flame Hellbats, he had turrets down, Thors, he was ready to defend and do small amounts of pushing, kind of that slow, dare I say, leapfrogging style, but unfortunately, as we saw, one small mistake on a pro level, it's a lot on the line. You can't afford to make those mistakes, and now behind the series 1-0, we'll see if he can bring it back versus Solar. Not an easy task.
You know, I was just thinking about it, and I think I have it down now. It was Armani who actually showed really good play against Mech after I think Solar was the one that lost against Mech. And I believe Armani was that was his style, right? It was to open up with Mitas. He transitioned into Swarm Host, and then he would transition really hardcore into Mutalisk. I mean, Solar didn't really, he didn't get 40 at a time, but he was planning on going more into it, and that's what helped end the game anyways. So of course they're teammates, and this doesn't surprise me at all, but it's cool to see the fact that they're getting better versus every matchup, every style.
Yeah, and the thing too is when we saw those upgrades coming out for the plus one, if we didn't see Mutalisk upgrades coming out, it probably would have just been those 10, but for Motok, at the very least, he's kind of gotten a whiff of Solar style now. He knows that the 3 Reapers really didn't get much done. Might go for a bit of a stronger opening this game, and he did manage to luck out and get those horizontal spawns. Now, horizontal spawns doesn't dictate you the chance to win the game, but it guarantees you that your opponent's probably not going to take this base as his third. And if he does, you're going to have a really nice time putting siege tanks on the top of this cliff and laughing as drones die.
Yes, that's pretty true. It's not the most terrible thing in the world though, because honestly, since if he does go mech, it's gonna take so long to get to that north base for Solar's fourth that it's fine anyways. It's safe over there. Of course, if he goes bio, then you still don't want to take the bottom left anyways, and that's when things get tricky. And I'm just wondering if Motok is gonna change up his preference, either mech or bio.
Chances are when you come into a tournament like this, you're not you're not taking your uncomfortable builds with you. You're not trying out new things. I wouldn't be shocked if you stuck with mech. If it's something you're willing to show in game number 1, chances are you're willing to show it in game number 2. There's I really feel that there's very few players in StarCraft 2 who can be very malleable with their playstyles. You're either really good with mech or really good with bio. And there's a couple players like Koss and Cross and others who can do both very effectively. But I mean, a lot of the times for players, sadly, the reality is it's one or the other. Not to say that they'd be bad with the other, they're just not going to be really good with the other.
Yeah, a lot of the times, you always want to put, when you're a tournament player, you always want to put different builds, different styles in your, your book of styles, I guess. So, but the thing is that, yeah, they might not be that great with bio, but sometimes just getting that surprise factor, just actually changing up just for that sole fact is going to win you the game.
Something really scary to consider too. Of course, this obviously isn't going to be on the mind of either of these players because right now they have to focus on getting out of this first best of 3. But the winner of this goes on to fight against Innovation.
Oh,
so
God, yeah.
it's going to be rough, even if they get through this first series. Even if Motok turns this around and does it 2-1, it's not exactly an easy match lying for him afterwards. None of the matches today will be easy, guys. There's so many good players participating. Absolutely go look at the brackets if you haven't already, because you'll be hard pressed to find a bad matchup today.
Yeah, pretty much.
With no region lock qualifiers or anything like that too. We got players from Europe, we got players from Korea, and the odd North American or two, but still, players it's the best of the best competing for a chance at $100,000 is basically what this boils down to. Actually, not even that. It's a chance at $100,000.
Yeah, it kind of sucks to think about it, but even starting right now, they are so far away. Even if they do get out of the finals, they are still so far away from making actually any money from this tournament, which just makes it sound depressing, but whatever.
Well, on one hand it can be depressing, but it's going to be the biggest, most celebrated victory of all time when somebody actually wins it. And I know The thing is, people were talking about, like, they had on Unfiltered and stuff talking about like players splitting prizes and all these things, and the reality is, like, even if you did split the prize for this, it's still so much money.
And it's never going to be public either. Like, there's actually, like, everyone can have, suspicion, but
Tinfoil hats on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's not something that would actually, like, bring people down because they'd never be sure. But anyways, game's starting to heat up a little bit as there not much aggression has been going on. We actually see 2 Widow Mines pop out. This is something that people were trying earlier on in Heart of the Swarm, was trying to bring out Widow Mines with these Hellion pushes, and I really liked it, but it just, like, fell out of favor for, like, the 2 Reaper, 6 Hellion push.
I'm more focused on this first off, nice snap and quick, but I'm more focused on this really early blue flame. This is something players have kind of strayed away from because of how easy it is to hold off with the roaches, but Solar is not going for roaches anytime soon. In fact, +1 carapace on the way and lots of lings. Now that queen going down early like that might not seem like a lot, but that's what really keeps, Hellions back from tickling and poking and doing what you can. There's another very low queen in the back, and unfortunately, these Widow Mines are about to rearm. So lings are trying to set them off. Solar has remembered where they are.
Wow, that's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
I'm a Terran player. I don't actually know the Widow Mine timings. I would just, like, lose so many queens of this. I guess it's going to go off now. Nope.
Well, roaches are finally coming out, and blue flame, of course, guys, I'm sure everyone knows this, but in case there's the one person that does it only provides bonus damage versus light units. So roaches being armored, they don't really give a good gosh darn, and they will deal with Hellions quite nicely.
Yeah, and I really like that Solar did go ahead and make that backup roach one and only get 5 roaches. He's not incredibly, like, sure that it's mech, but he has a suspicion because of last game, so why not get those 5 roaches? Because they're going to help out no matter what anyways against the Hellions. And now it's going to be absolutely necessary dealing with the blue flame.
Motok lost that Viking, sadly. It did already claim the lives of 2 overlords. Kind of the Pult Viking, as you and I have been calling it for quite some time, but sadly, it does not get too many more, and that strips a little bit of control away from someone like Solar. Like this Overseer coming, for example, could have been picked off, instead sees 3 Hellions heading towards the main. Roaches, of course, have to worry about this, because if he goes towards the main to defend, God, how many Hellions is this over here? Like 11 Hellions.
Oh my God, it's completely open. Like, oh man. Oh, Jesus. The lings go back. They're gonna try and buy some time.
Oh no!
Oh, wow. That's the entire drone line. Well, okay, 4 survive, I lied, but still.
Pretty much the whole drone line, and looks like the main drop is just going off now too, so not out of trouble yet. Gonna lose some drones in the main. Never have I seen blue flame Hellions use this effectively after roaches were already made to defend against them, but Motok is making it happen, and this is what I was talking about. Like, I really feel the game was a very unfortunate thing, but he shows that he's definitely able to be aggressive and get damage done. In the end, total of 26 workers did go down for the cost of, well, it was a lot of Hellions, but let's be honest, it's just Hellions.
It was 18 Hellions, so yeah, I feel like it's okay. Like we talked about, like Hellions, as long as the counterattack isn't powerful enough to do anything, then you're going to be fine in the long run, the next few minutes. So that, that was actually pretty good, and he's going to continue on in this game and feel pretty confident in himself, because now Solar's going to be remaking those drones, so not making units, and that's the counterattack's not going to be a worry. But we do have Mutalisk on the way, and
that is going to be a concern because there's almost no anti-air available on the map.
Really? He's not expecting that. Seeing the roaches, he's like, okay, it's going to be like typical.
Okay, well, he's the Spire actually researching right now, though, so he has to know that this is going to be. He just
I thought he saw it with the Hellions actually, but I guess not, because.
Well, no, he saw the Spire, but he didn't see like actually researching anything before it wasn't completed at the time. So I don't know if he's picked up on that. There are Thors coming out now, but he's gonna definitely need some missile turrets. Static D, Thors are not mobile units by any means, and I don't believe it's an engineering bay. No, he's panically putting one down right now. Ooh. Because the thing is, these Beetles, they can actually magic box on top of low balance of Thors and still get damage done.
Yeah, if Solar realizes that he is not prepared for it, he might totally invest into mutas. I mean, he's getting some roaches now. That's because he wasn't. He didn't know if there's turrets in there or not. Now he's like, oh my God, this is like a field day for my Mutalisk. They're not big enough in number to actually like really be scary. As you can see, the SCD pool was enough to save a lot of them, but it's still causing a lot of havoc.
Thors do pop out. Widowmine's gonna bro here to try and add a little bit. Looks like he will drive this back. So Motok not going to lose the game here or anything, but 2 Hellbats actually just walk across the map. I don't believe they were even dropped, so try and get a volley or 2 off on these drone lines. Again, if you guys have never played mech before, as a Terran player, you're going to have a lot of minerals to spare. It's gas that's really expensive, and Thors and tanks that will eat up all of your resources. You can throw away Hellbats, you can throw away Hellions, but as Zombie Grub said before, you have to have enough at home to buffer, and I'm afraid with the small amounts of tanks, these roaches may be able to just bully their way in. He's splitting them up, so they're not going to take that much splash damage. Mutilus have already pretty much been dealt with, and there's just nothing to guard for the tanks. If Hellbats were on the line here, these roaches would not push forward like this.
This is probably game. Motok going about under 100 supplies. Solar is still having no problem getting into those higher 100s, 170, 180 actually. He can max out right now, but he's droning
again.
like in case this doesn't work.
Alright. So that will set it for Solar to win and move on to fight against Innovation, guys. I know there's been already some requests made, but we said earlier this was the one we were going to follow for a start, so Solar versus Innovation will be coming up next.